Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm Jo, and welcome to episode 13 of the Society of Unpublished Authors. This podcast is recorded in Western Sydney on the lands of the Darug people. We pay our respects to the original custodians and storytellers of this land and to elders past and present.
This episode starts the new series of ours, Beyond the Books, where we will be talking to creatives of all different mediums. This week, we interviewed Lauren Hackney, who is an award-winning Australian screenwriter and author, whose newest picture book, Panda, will be coming out later this year. Awesome. Okay, Lauren, thank you so much for coming on the pod. So you are a writer for books, chapter books, picture books, and also screenwriting. Is there anything else you could tell our audience if they don't know you already, just a bit about yourself?
Sure, why not? If you have the time. No. So thank you very much for talking to me. I really appreciate it. So I'm also a content manager for an educational magazine, which is called Inspiring Minds. The basis of this magazine is to really put kids and teens in the driver's seat, to inspire everyone to tell stories and learn through stories. And I also, so yes, I do screenplays, I do writing, chapter books, and also I like to talk to people on my own podcast too, because I like to know how people got to where they are and encourage others to do so.
Amazing. And how did you start this journey in writing? I think I read that you weren't always a writer. You used to work in aviation. How did you get this passion?
I was actually very, very happy for 16 years of my life working in aviation. I had no reason to change. Oh my word, I was that happy person you would meet at barbecues who was like, nah, got my life figured out. I'm good. I worked on Brisbane Ramp. I used to drive the aero bridges into aircraft, open up aircraft doors. I was working airside. I got to deal with prisoners in custody. I got to deal with Make-A-Wish kids. I got to deal with like everything airside, medical emergencies, evacuations. That was my jam until COVID stopped it. And I didn't have a plan. I had no plan. I had not a plan in the world. And because the only thing I would do to keep myself sane was storytell with my boys, we decided during lockdown to put our story together, our bedtime story. We wrote it. We thought about what the characters would look like. We would draw what the characters were because, it was lockdown. What else are you going to do? And that's how it actually started for me. So I had to, don't get me wrong, I worked in home care and I found other alternate work, but that was the beginning of a storytelling career that now is my full-time role.
I feel all those aviation stories could be their own book.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, you heard it here first.
Awesome. And when you are thinking about stories, do you have an idea and you're like, I can see it on a screen, or I could really feel the page turn? Is there different ideas, like film ideas versus book ideas, or you kind of just take the idea and work on it as it comes?
That's a great question, because now that I've dived into the fish tank and I'm swimming with all these different fish who do different roles, I've learned that, yes, some stories are better for novels. Some stories are better for picture books. Some stories are better for screen. Yes. But all stories are still just as important. So Lauren, like 6 years ago, March 2020, where she was jobless and didn't know what to do, I didn't know how to pick a story as to where it actually fit. Whereas where I am kind of now, I've written a screenplay recently where the biggest feedback I had from a production company was better in a novel form, because there are just certain things that work and that don't. But it's nice to have that conversation. So if you have a story, just tell it, because someone out there who's willing to either publish it or see it on the screen or see it wherever, those are the great conversations that follow.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. And like just getting down to the nitty-gritty of the craft, how do you approach writing a story differently to how you might approach writing a screenplay?
Yeah, well, actually, I've been in the driver's seat now where I've been working as a screenwriter. So I've been in a writer's room bringing someone else's idea to life. That is so different to I have a spark. So 90% of all the stories I've written so far are from my personal experiences. So The Lolly Shop was my children's bedtime story. The Land Angels, which was a short story made into a screenplay, is about my husband's ill health. Stay Wild, which is a screenplay about kids getting out into nature, being wild, was a dedication to my dad. So, like, yes, I have written to heal, but then there is the craft. You're right. It's, you got to make sure you get those story beats. You got to make sure you have that character arc. You got to make sure you have that structure. Amen. Yes, because that makes a good story. That all goes into play now when I'm in a writer's room for a production company, or when I'm actually helping someone edit their project. That's when I have to go, okay, fun's over of storytelling. Let's see what those craft abilities can be like.
Yeah, so you're really sticking to those beats and things like that that are quite well known. Like we've read Save the Cat, things like that. Like that's kind of, that is a real thing
Yeah.
in real writing rooms and real screenwriting. Yeah.
100% pre-development. So my strong suit is, just to be clear, is pre-development. So I've been in a writer's room where a production company has approached me as a junior writer. They have two senior writers already on file, and I'm there, I'm taking notes, and we are really just going, okay, this is the gobbledygook. Sorry. Oh gosh, I don't want to get cancelled.
We know what you
But this is the spaghetti at the wall the production company has said that they want. We are here to put it in what we feel is the best form of screenplay, so you can take it out and make it into development. Once it's in development, different story, because the financiers generally have the different, like the final say as to what goes in and what goes out. Because let's face it, who pays for it? They're going to have some decisions to make as well, and some opinions. But just to be clear, that's where I'm at, is the pre-development of, we will get your script to a point where you can then go and make that script happen.
Yeah, and are you using like particular software or anything like that differently to how you'd write your picture books or your junior fiction or short story?
Yeah, 100%. I like Word for picture books and junior fiction. I just like Word. That's how I've always done it. You know, I'm a girl in my 40s, people. I have habits. I'm sorry. But as far as screenwriting goes, I use a Word document first. When I'm in those meetings, I'm quick to write down notes because I'm a junior. I'm writing notes mainly. But I like to use Writer Duet for actually constructing a screenplay. I might work with other teams who might request differently, but so far that has worked for me currently.
Yeah, I've not heard of that. So what is Writer's Duet?
Yeah, Writers Duet. It is a online platform for screenwriting. You can then share content. You can swap ideas. You can, edit other projects. You just have to be linked and things like this. But because I'm a junior, I'm mainly there to take notes and then construct on my own and send that PDF through.
Yep. So interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, and we had a episode a few weeks ago where we talked about critique groups and how helpful they are. Is there like a critique group kind of system for screenwriting? Do you share with others, or yeah?
Yeah, look, same, but different, right?
Yeah.
So yes, picture books and all those kidlit community in Australia is incredible. And New Zealand and around the world, right? Yes, you have your people who will give you notes. Screenwriting, from my very small experience, because we're pre-development, and yes, we are pretty much doing the Save the Cat thing, right? It's a minute a page. Keep that screenplay between 1 page and 90, or 1 page and 100. That's your sweet spot. Make it budget friendly. So when you say have a critique group, yes, but you really are just showing you can follow the rules before you can break them.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. Yeah, awesome. Have you had any experiences recently you went to the Cannes Film Festival? Have you had any experiences where you're just inspired and invigorated and you just come away with fresh ideas? Like, what is it like to be in that community?
Yeah, 100%. Actually, I was part of TAFE Queensland recently, where a crew asked me to be part of filming a short that took out Best Film at the Luma Film Festival for TAFE Queensland. And I can tell you right now, yeah, thank you, to actually be on set, see the dedication, because I'm behind the set. I'm that person who will get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to be on Los Angeles time, to meet with my team, to work 5-6 hours, right? And I'm in my pajamas, sorry, visual, with a big cup of coffee, and that's it. Whereas to actually for once spend 10, 12 hours a day on the set repeatedly, get up for a sunrise shot and notice that sunrise shots can take 3 or 4 days to film. That actually inspired me to go, okay, now I kind of get how I can write better to suit those conditions. I was so inspired, but I was also inspired to go, gee, should I be on set? Should I maybe like clip my wings? Like anyway.
Yeah, that's so exciting to think about the different avenues and maybe take your behind the scenes knowledge and put it into in the scenes, I guess would be the
Yeah, don't
terminology.
ever write sunrise scenes. Don't write sunrise scenes as a beginner because
Okay, good point. Good tip.
don't do it.
Yeah. Um, and kind of talking about new avenues or new possibilities, we saw one interview that you had done and you were quoted about rejection and resilience. And that's something that we love. This is like we are the unpublished authors and we just keep going, you know?
We're all about getting rejected.
Yeah, you got to get those rejections before you ever get the acceptance. So we just wanted to talk about that mindset and that how that resilience has kind of shaped your career.
All of my success comes from a no. I'm really sorry. It really does. I love no's. In the beginning, hated them because I got so offended, especially when everyone rejected my, family bedtime story that I did in such a rubbish time of my life. But when I had a chance to foster that no, and please, anyone listening, all right, I know it's tough because you do take it to heart all that time. I get it. But do you know what's even better when you get a no and then you follow up and you show that person what you can do? Or you then say to that person, okay, that's okay. I understand you said no because of business requirements. I get the economy at the moment. However, I'm available for X, Y, and Z as well. Or how about I promote you on my podcast with some of your authors at the moment? Or, okay, so if this story wasn't for you, just tell me. I'm just curious. What is working for you and how can I how can I give value to you? Mate, the amount that you get from a good no experience is going to take you further than any yes. I'll tell you, it will, because people will remember you for that. And that's a good thing to be remembered for.
Yes, that's so inspiring to not just be a sore loser and to just, turn it into a bad interaction, to just take it and turn it into something amazing is so good. And I love that you say that, it's not a no, it's a maybe, or it's a different avenue, or it's partnership in a different form.
It's like a no
I'm not,
and yeah.
Yeah, I'm not using names right now, so I can say this, but I know a very well-known US TV channel that has a script sitting on their desk for 8 years because they love this script so much. And they want the right location with the right actors, and you try and line all that up. Now, again, you try and tell that writer, it's not a no, it's a maybe. That script is still sitting there. So I get it. Everyone wants their answer now, especially with picture books. And that's the sad thing. The reality is Australian publishing used to do 8 picture books a year 10 years ago. And now it's gone down to 6 years and then, 6 spaces, and then it's down to 3 spaces, and now it's 1 or 2 if you're lucky. It's down to odds as well. And sometimes they go with authors that they know that sell because, let's face it, the economy's in the toilet. So if people could take anything away from this, it's so much out of their control. But
yeah,
still,
absolutely.
wouldn't it be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to have a yes, though? Come on.
It would.
Sorry.
It would. Yeah, we've talked a lot about this, about the reasons for being rejected, and only a small part of them are because your work sucks. There's just so many other factors that come into it. And yeah.
So
keep
true.
Going.
So true. Just keep going. That's the best advice. And so you've had your new picture book that's coming out shortly. When you started pitching that, kind of what was your experience with the publication process?
100%. Lots of tears in my day wine, to be honest with you. Because I only got a yes from fostering that no. That's it. Okay, I'm the queen of, I've done CYA, I've done all the conferences, I've done Kid Lit Dick, I've done the assessments, I've done, you name it, girl, I've done it. I don't believe in monogamy. I'm a hussy. I do it all. But I only got a yes from fostering a no because like Daisy Lane, who eventually took me on, and it wasn't because I pressured them. Don't think like that. But it was more of a case of, okay, this isn't for you this time. That's fine. I would stay in touch. I'd be like, okay, do you need help marketing? I have a podcast. Do you need any authors? I can, put your authors on my channel. Or, hey, I'm happy to do a promo here. Or, hey, I saw you were at Kidlit. Well, boom, boom, boom. And it was more like I got to know Jen got to know me. I then was invited on her Kidlit International podcast. And then, what turned out to be no, turned out to be a pretty amazing yes, because she has got me on her Kidlit International podcast every week, where I talk to authors around the world and we all give our 2 cents. So tune in. I have a lot of them. I'll give you $1.50. But I also then eventually got Panda, signed and out there. So that yes only came from a very pushy no situation.
And I know the book's not out yet, so we weren't able to read it before the pod. Do you want to tell us what it's about? I know that there's a really clear message in it. Do you have something to share?
Yeah, I do. So Panda is a black and white cow with the name of a black and white animal wanting to be a black and white border collie. So this cow, and now anyone who's grown up with cows, so my Auntie Pearl had a cow, and I remember being a little kid going, that cow is acting like a dog. So cows, if they like you, they lick you. They love to run in the sun. They are surprisingly like dogs. But I just thought, you know what? Wouldn't it be amazing if you had a black and white cow wanting to be a dog? Because deep down, you can be who you want to be. Because people judge you outside, don't they? Just because I'm tall and how I look, don't assume I'm athletic. I'm clumsy as heck, mate. Just my nickname growing up was Cyclone because I'm a natural disaster. You know what I'm saying? So it comes in with like, people are going to judge, but be who you want to be on the inside.
That's such a great message, especially for children, because they are just starting to learn descriptors, and they're starting to learn, oh, there's girls in my class and boys, and they have, short hair and long hair, and they start to really pick up on descriptors. That's such a good time to kind of slide that message in a fun book for them.
Yep, you want to be a cow, go be a dog, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love that.
When is it releasing?
September, all things being equal. But we
Okay,
know what life's
amazing.
like, so just don't hold me to it.
Okay, but it's coming.
It's coming.
And have you got any tips or writing advice to share with anyone who's listening today about how you wrote the book, like how many drafts and what was the process? And
So many. No,
but that's what writing is, isn't it? It's rewriting.
It is.
Yeah.
But I say to school kids, I love visiting school kids because I'm like, please don't put your first draft into your teacher because it's not going to end well. But I was more on like draft number 12 because I wrote it in so many different ways. I did it from like one point of view and then another point of view, and then like you could go on a tangent with it, couldn't you? Finally got it right though. Lucky number 12. But yeah, like I guess I have no advice on that one because as well, it comes down to the publisher. If they want it in third person, they get it in third person. If they want it in rhyme, you do it in rhyme.
Yeah. Well, I think like what you said, like one of the reasons I think people do get rejected is because they send their work way too early. It's not ready. So doing the 12 drafts,
Would you eat a raw cake in the oven? No.
Yeah, exactly. You want to send your best work, particularly because there's so many publishers that you can perhaps only submit the manuscript once. There's such a limited amount of times you can submit. So make it your absolute best. I think that's really, really good advice. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Lucky 12. Remember that.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing before 12. And what has your experience been with being an author on social media? So we're pretty new to the social media game. Like we've always had it for personal use, but what has your experience been with putting yourself out there, putting your art out there, kind of being a bit vulnerable and sharing with everyone? How has that been?
I only joined social media because of my writing. So I was one of the last 7 in the world who wasn't on social media at all until like 4 years ago when I felt like I had to. And yeah, it's a beast. It's such a beast. I think the main thing is just remember why you're doing it, right? Like, I'm not doing it to get Insta famous. I'm not doing it. Like, I'm honestly, if I can like inspire anyone to tell their story, if I can get anyone to just change their life, because remember, I went from working in aviation to now this is my full-time gig, right? If I can inspire anyone to do anything at any age, then I've won. I'm not on Insta or Facebook for any other reason. So for those people out there who have their opinions, I am not precious. I've heard it all. Like, it's fine. But also there are some people's opinions that have some weight to it. Like, I've heard a few bits and bobs where they're like, did that really work the way you thought it was? And it's like, well, you're right. I'm not perfect, but it's nice to learn. It's finding that balance, isn't it, though?
Yeah, totally. And it's sort of about connecting with people, I think, as much as anything. And I think you just want to find your kind of community, and people that are perhaps not vibing in your community, then you don't actually have to connect with those people.
Yeah, and also remember, I started in one genre of writing, and because social media, I branched out into like 4 different types of writing. So I think you're right. It's the community where you get given permission to fly. Because I had Leo Baker, right? He went on my podcast. I was very nosy. I just wanted to know how he got published. I was a bit selfish. But then he was the one who planted the seed and was like, you actually are very good at dialogue. Have you thought about screenwriting? So if you also give yourself permission to be a little bit open, you might actually get more than you bargained for.
Yeah, I love that. And just that idea of maybe dabbling around and playing around in other genres. And we don't have to stick to I'm a picture book writer, I'm this, I'm that. Like, why not?
Yeah,
Green lights,
awesome.
baby. Green lights.
And if people want to find you online, find out what you're up to, connect with you, you said you're on a couple of different podcasts. Is that right? Tell us everything. Tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, sure. So I'll be very, very honest. I keep it simple. I do not have a website at the moment for the reason is I just want to be found in the one place, which is social media. So if you're wanting to look at my profile, it's lbe.hackney on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook. However, there are links as well to the magazine. There's links to my screenwriting. There's links to where you need to go if you want to know all about that. But absolutely, come check it out. Connect with me. I'm going to try my best to steer you in the right direction and not to send you on the wrong path.
We don't mind going on the wrong path sometimes.
An adventure. Yeah. All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down with us. That was really amazing. And we have loved hearing all about your different writing and your resilience. And it's very, very inspiring. I hope others are also inspired to try something new. Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you, Joanne. Thank you, Sarah. And I hope anyone listening or watching this today contacts you, supports you, and also make sure that, keep you guys going. Because if it wasn't for everyone supporting each other out there, then none of this would be possible. So thank you. And everyone watching this, make sure you like, follow, subscribe, and share Sarah and Joanna's content.
Thank you so much.
That's it from us this week. You can find links to everything we've spoken about today on our website, thesocietyofunpublishedauthors.com.
And you can find us both on Instagram at jo_diggs and author Sarah Della Piedra. And our Instagram for the podcast is the Society of Unpublished Authors.
Thanks for listening.
Bye.